Trump's confession raises serious concerns. In a recent revelation, Donald Trump confessed to deliberately withholding classified documents that he unlawfully retained, citing his busy schedule as the reason. When confronted about instructing his aide, Walt Nauta, to move the boxes to a different location while simultaneously telling his attorney that he had fully complied with the subpoena, Trump did not deny committing the crimes. Instead, he attempted to justify his actions. It is important to note that I am not here to provide legal advice to Donald Trump, but it seems someone on his payroll should have reminded him of his right to remain silent. Trump's confession effectively acknowledges his involvement in several crimes, including conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding and concealing documents, making false statements, and causing the submission of false certificates. Trump's justification that he needed to go through the boxes does not hold up. He had over a year to review the documents and determine their classification status. It is puzzling why he did not address this matter when the National Archives initially requested the documents or when the subpoena was issued. Instead, he resorted to deceptive tactics such as drafting a false attestation, assembling a crew for a search warrant rehearsal, and giving false answers to the FBI during a voluntary interview. It is concerning that Trump seemingly had ample time to find ways to defy the law but claimed to have no time to comply with it. This pattern is not surprising when it comes to Donald Trump. Even when presented with the Department of Justice's indictment, which includes a recorded admission of his plan being highly confidential and secret, Trump failed to offer a substantial response. These revelations highlight the seriousness of Trump's actions and the need for accountability. The charges he effectively confessed to are grave offenses against the justice system. It is crucial for the appropriate authorities to thoroughly investigate these allegations and take the necessary legal actions. No one, regardless of their position, should be above the law.
I don't want to dwell on it, but according to the indictment, you were here at Bedminster on July 21st, 2021, after you're no longer president, and you were recorded saying that you had a document detailing a plan of attack on another country that was prepared by the U.S. military for you when you were president, the Iran attack plan. You remember that?
Ready?
You were recorded.
It wasn't a document.
Okay.
I had lots of paper. I had copies of newspaper articles. I had copies of magazines.
I know. This is specifically a quote. You're quoted on the recording saying the document was secret, adding that you could have declassified it while you were president, but, quote, now I can't. You know this is still secret, highly confidential. And the indictment cites the recording and the testimony from people in the room saying you showed it to people there that day. So you say on this on tape.
It says just the opposite.
That you can't declassify it, so why have it?
When I said that I couldn't declassify it now, that's because I wasn't president. I never made any bones about that. When I'm not president, I can't declassify.
And that's what you said. You didn't declassify it.
I said no. I said I couldn't.
But
that wasn't a document, Brett. There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not a document. I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictment says.
Well,
the recording
people,
and the people in the room who testified.
These people are very dishonest people. They're thugs. They're thugs. If you look at what they've done to other people, what they've done to, and overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court, these are thugs.
The suggestion was that you wanted this as evidence that the military, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, had preemptively sent you plans for a possible attack on Iran, and that you didn't order that to happen. That's the suggestion.
I never ordered it to happen, no.
But that's why you wanted the document.
I don't think I've ever seen a document from Milley. Milley, frankly, was incompetent. The last one I'd want to attack with as my leader would be Milley.
They did ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
can you
them
give the documents back?
And we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
Which
back.
They've never done before.
Right. But why not just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to NARA yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen.
Yeah, but according to the indictment, you then tell this aide to move to other locations after telling your lawyers to say you'd fully complied with the subpoena when you hadn't.
But before I send boxes over, I have to take all of my things out. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things, golf shirts, clothing, pants, shoes. There were many things. I would say much more, not that I know of, but everything was declassified. And Biden didn't have the right to do that because he wasn't president. Nor did Mike Pence, by the way, have the right to do that because he wasn't president.
Trump's attempt to obfuscate the facts. In an attempt to deflect from the serious allegations against him, Donald Trump now claims that there were no classified documents involved, just papers and other items.
There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not a document. I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictments.
He argues that when discussing attack plans against Iran, he did not use classified documents. However, the indictment includes an audio-recorded quote from Trump himself, where he revealed the plan during a meeting at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. During that meeting, Trump showed and described a plan of attack, which he claimed was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. He emphasized that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump even stated that, as president, he had the power to declassify it, but he couldn't do so at that moment. This recorded admission clearly indicates that Trump acknowledged the plan's classified nature. Trump's current assertion that there was no classified document may be a convenient shift in his narrative now that prosecutors have evidence of his confession. However, this attempt to rewrite history does not change the reality of the situation. Trump's own words confirm the existence of a highly confidential and secret document. It is important to recognize Trump's tactics of confusion and obfuscation. He floods the zone with contradictory information, making it difficult to discern the truth. His goal is not necessarily to convince people of his lies, but to create enough doubt and uncertainty so that the truth becomes elusive. This strategy allows him to operate in a realm of disinformation, where the objective is to cast doubt on the facts. While Trump may believe that he is crafting a PR narrative to his advantage, the ultimate judgment will be made in a federal courtroom, not the court of public opinion. Prosecutors have the authority to use any and all information, including clips from this interview, in their case against Trump. The evidence presented in court will be crucial for the jury to make an informed decision. Trump's attempts to distort the facts should not detract from the serious charges against him. His actions and admissions must be scrutinized in a legal setting, where the evidence will be thoroughly examined. While Trump may continue to add to the evidence with his words and actions, it is the court's decision that will determine the outcome, not public perception.